Late summer settles over the Alesian highlands as Roman engineers carve geometric scars into the earth. Centurion Marcus braces against heavy timber, his calloused hands gripping the palisade while the golden hour sun bathes the advancing fortifications in silent resolve. Beyond the earthen ramparts, Vercingetorix stands sentinel atop the stone citadel. Allied chieftains flank him in heavy wool and iron, their round shields braced against the inner walls as the Gauls watch the Roman perimeter, hardened beneath a pale, watchful sky. He knows this day will decide Rome's fate. Dawn breaks over the western hill as Caesar stands tall, surveying the camp from his wooden platform. Officers clutch maps, breastplates gleaming. He grips the bronze standard, eyes fixed on the dust-covered scar of war. Today, knee-deep in the defensive ditch, Centurion Lucius anchors the southern trench line. Legionaries lock their rectangular shields against the packed earth, forming an unyielding wall as morning light catches the gleaming standard nearby, and the horizon begins to stir with approaching. Across the open plain, chieftain Brutus leads the Gallic host forward in loose, determined formation. Warriors march with spears held high, their heavy chainmail clinking softly as the advancing tide of momentum builds toward the Roman earthworks under the bright morning sun. Tribune Gaius watches from the southern ridge, seated firmly atop his warhorse. Cavalrymen hold position in staggered ranks, their polished leather armor gleaming as the wind lifts their cloaks, while the mounted reserve scans the eastern flank for the coming clash. The Roman legions stand rigid, shields locked, swords gleaming under the sun. The air holds its breath. Midday heat glows as Vercingetorix grips his bronze horn. Runners raise their instruments. Warriors lean on stone, tense and still. Roman legions stand. The defensive ditch trembles as Lucius braces his shield against the advancing wave. Legionaries lock their scuta tight against the earthen wall, their unwavering posture forming a disciplined barrier where Roman order prepares to meet the gathering storm of Gallic steel. New text. Marcus leads the reserve through the gates, auxiliaries and cohorts advance in tight ranks, spears raised, eyes fixed on the crumbling southern ridge. The earth trembles beneath their boots, but not a man falters. Duty binds them tighter than armor. He knows the moment is coming. On the eastern ridge, Decimus Brutus sits still, his warhorse restless beneath him. Cavalry hold line, spears lowered, eyes fixed on the Gallic flank. The wind holds its breath. He feels it, the moment is near. Battle will turn. Momentum fractures as Brutus stands amid the breaking ranks. Gallic fighters retreat across the churned earth, their loose formation dissolving into disarray while the Roman line holds firm, proving that disciplined engineering will ultimately shatter the raw force of the assault. Twilight deepens over the citadel as Vercingetorix rests his hand upon the stone parapet. Guards stand watch with round shields, their heavy cloaks draped over iron helmets, while the courtyard below grows quiet, the gathering night mirroring the slow acceptance of defeat. Outside the hardened perimeter, Marcus braces against the reinforced palisade as torchlight flickers across the twilight sky. Engineers grip vertical beams, their weathered tunics dusted with soil, while the silent mass of workers holds the line against the encroaching shadows of night. High on the northern ridge, chieftain Lucterius watches the Roman camp from the darkness. Scouts maintain a steady vigil with spears upright, their chainmail catching the faint torch glow as the relief host advances in loose formation, patience meeting the coming dawn. The air hums with tension, the scent of wet iron and dread. Condensed text. Pale dawn breaks as Tribune Gaius stands firm in the outer trenching. Legionaries lock shields, cuirasses gleaming, ready for the Gallic storm. The air hums wet. The air thrums with tension and the promise of battle. Lucterius strides forward, spears raised, warriors advancing in loose ranks toward Roman lines. The bronze standard glints in dawn's light, the air thick with tension. No retreat. The moment is charged with anticipation. The morning wind sweeps as Decimus grips the reins-mounted columns. Hold the ridge, armor gleaming, spears lowered. Below, the tide turns. They wait, silent, poised to strike the Gallic rear with flawless. Strategy crystallizes at the command post as Caesar surveys the broken ground. Staff officers clutch their maps against polished steel, while the commander grips the bronze standard, his slow breathing measuring the final victory as dust settles over the conquered hillside. Upon the stone ramparts, Vercingetorix stands amid the gathering peace. Guards brace their round shields over iron helmets, their heavy wool cloaks draped against the midday sun, while the citadel courtyard stretches quiet, the threshold of war finally yielding to Roman authority. Golden hour light bathes the summit as Caesar surveys the conquered landscape. Staff officers hold their maps against polished breastplates, while the commander rests his hand upon the standard, watching the dust settle over a hillside where strategy has secured eternal triumph.